So, the Security Breach Ruin DLC came out, and man, it has made two things clear to me. One is that I suck. Now, I could have made my first video and released it a lot sooner, but no! I decided to launch it a day after the DLC. And two, I have never seen something like this fix this game so much. It's honestly a miracle. It made the year and a half of absolute chaos and confusion in the community disappear in a pretty good experience. I'm impressed. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And I think everyone is too. Except not, because there is just one thing, one singular detail that cannot be ignored by anyone anymore. And that is... Oh my fucking god. Are you kidding me? All we see of a potential Afton is this nothing enemy that just serves to keep you from spamming the Vanny mask? That's it! And he isn't even a main threat. Listen, I'm glad that he's dead too, okay? It's just that apparently, this whole time he was just an AI version of Afton that was kept in the Pizzaplex to make sure the Mimic didn't escape. What? And you can't say he's somewhere else, because where else would he be? The canon ending of Security Breach is the one where Vanessa is freed from his influence. So like, what now? Oh no, they were training the Endos to behave like him. And for what? Why were they doing it in the first place? And how will they continue now? The Pizzaplex is destroyed, no one has him as a host, what's the point? Clearly, the idea was for him to come back for real. But the books were already setting it up. Bullshit. This was a course correction they had backed up in case things didn't go well. What is the goal here? What does he want out of killing more children? We don't even know why he's here. And besides, if he really did die, and what we see of him is just an AI, then it still doesn't make sense. How could you fuck up this badly? How can you just change the story midway through production just because your fan base will come back with their theories? Aren't you a game company? Don't you know how to make a game? This guy has been so misused and so misunderstood that it's comical. This isn't the way to treat what was the main antagonist of your horror franchise. Here's how I would do it. This is how I would fix William Afton.
What? Okay. Okay, we're going down.
Am not me.
Henry's sacrifice in FNAF 6 meant nothing. What is this shit? What is this shit? You piece of shit! No! Afton!
Stop him.
Afton!
Are you okay?
He is trying.
Oh my fucking god!
I do not think.
Fucking die already!
Aê! Ai, foi! Queima, meu Deus do céu! Não aguento mais você! Que isso? Corre, Gregory! Acabou! Let's go! Será que ele morreu dessa vez?
Boy, Burn Trap. Burn Trap showing up during one of the endings of Security Breach was one of the weirdest and most frustrating things to ever happen in this franchise. We all collectively rolled our eyes and uttered his catchphrase, "I always come back," thinking, yeah, but did you really have to? It just raised more questions than it answered.
You know, I hear shit like that and I'm like, man, this isn't what ruined the character. He's always been this way. For fuck's sakes, his catchphrase is, "I always come back." The thing that made everyone mad was not the fact that he was back, it was the why. There is no why. We already knew it was some form of him in Help Wanted, regardless if it was his spirit or an AI, but it was him. But in that game, us not knowing what he was planning made sense. The mystery surrounding it was what kept us interested. It worked there, not only because it was a new and interesting concept for the franchise, but also because we could tell a little bit of what he wanted. In that game, we knew that his plan was to possess us, the player, or Vanessa, and the rest we just had to wait and see. Now, why is it that in Help Wanted, it's fine to have this smaller story, but not in Security Breach? Well, FNAF VR is FNAF. Security Breach isn't. Let me explain. Remember in my last video where I talked about the immersion of FNAF 1 and how it was due to context? Well, this is what I meant. In these first games, the small context clues that were directly tied to each game was enough to engage us in the story. The other, more overarching plot points were hidden for us to discover the main story of the games. But a FNAF game can still stand up on its own and be a good experience, like with Help Wanted. Just us being a playtester in this big collection of FNAF game, plus some minigames, plus the hidden secrets, just like how it was before, was the thing that made this one of the best FNAF games of all time. It was familiar to us, but different enough to stand out on its own. It was the soft reboot, the next step for the franchise, and it laid out the framework for an amazing Security Breach. But still missed the mark. FNAF Security Breach is not just another small point-and-click game. It is a big boy 6-hour 3D game. For God's sake, it was shown off at PlayStation State of Play. It was a big deal. This was FNAF making its triumphant return in a modern new look. So please tell me why they made this like a point-and-click game. Now, going back to the main topic of the video, William. Man, he's just that guy, right? No matter what he does, he doesn't quit. But why? You see, he starts to take over Vanessa's mind and makes her the new means to carry out his work. She cheats her way into becoming a security guard in the newly opened Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex and starts to kidnap kids, presumably for something probably related to Remnant or something else. She also hijacks the Endos to mimic Afton's behavior to, you know, kill more kids. And by the end of it all, he's back into his old rotten corpse, ready to do what? Kill more kids. Oh, I see the problem here. All he's doing is killing children. Afton doesn't just kill random kids for fun or for a hobby. What the hell? Yeah, he killed like 6, maybe 11 kids, but he wasn't doing it because he liked it. He had a reason. He killed Charlie in cold blood and left her body in the alley, not because of madness or enjoyment. It was because of jealousy. Henry, his partner, had it all. He had a great childhood, a loving wife and daughter, all the things that William couldn't see he had. The novels describe William as a sordid man, a sadistic tirade born from a feeling of aggression and mistreatment throughout his life, along with the taste of wanting to have more power, believing that he had means to his ends. To him, it wasn't fair that his son was this waste of a person, so much so that he wouldn't even admit to being his father. It wasn't fair that he couldn't love his creations like Henry. He believed in the idea that the animatronics were this superior way of living, one that couldn't feel pain, which translated to his Spring Bonnie persona. He killed Charlie so that Henry could feel what he felt, and he killed the 5 children so that he could give life to his creations, so that he could love his creations, just like him. That's his jealousy. But one small problem, it actually worked. The robots really did gain life. They really became what he hoped. But his lust for power was what guided his next actions. He saw the potential in this discovery. Life after death? Immortality? Could it really be? He had to know more, and so he began his research on souls, creating his new line of fun-time animatronics, built to capture more subjects. But he also went to collect what was due. He led them there, again. He overpowered them, again. And he robbed them of the only thing they had, again. All for his own benefit. All for his power. So how would this actually translate in security breach? Well, as I said before, this game can't have small context clues to tell you the story. That alone won't carry this game. We need a full story from beginning to end, and that requires Vanny. Now, tell me, the name of this video, it's How to Fix William Afton, right? Vanny? Not included. But I do need to mess with her also, but I won't do it too much. I want to reserve her for her own video. Now, for everyone that is up to date with the FNAF story already knows she's possessed. But for anyone new, we need to establish early on that she isn't the evil mastermind, it's him. But not only that, we also need to establish what it is that we as a player want in stopping the bad guy. As we can see from the trailers and some of the endings, our goal is to save our friends and, by proxy, stop the murderers. Now we have a much clearer explanation as to why Gregory's here in his relationship with Fanny and Afton. Now, as you progress in the game, you and your pal Freddy discover more of what's really happening in the Pizzaplex. You destroy all the robots, you escape Fanny, you go to the basement and find him. That's where things start to get really interesting. Him just being back there once more does nothing for us. We all think of Burn Trap as a joke, when in fact the game is presenting him as a big deal. But of course, that's not gonna work. Just telling us to be afraid of you won't make it work. If random shit just keeps happening where this small child completely destroys all of these massive animatronics, then there's no stakes no more. I'm not gonna take you seriously just because you want me to. You need to give me a reason to be afraid of you. Which brings me back to what I said before. His personality, his actions, all of it should be apparent the moment you see him. Someone who has little regard for others. Someone who is always observing, thinking, and executing his plan. Someone that is always pulling the strings from the background to get what he wants. If Vanny and consequently Afton is always following you throughout the game like a Grim Reaper, it makes the encounters with them so much more terrifying. And I haven't even gotten into the best part yet. Whether it be getting his old body back, or building an army of AI clones, or something else even more terrifying, we need to know. Right before going down to the basement, we should have a confrontation with Vanny. One that, after being beaten, will reveal to us the true stakes of what is about to happen. The whole game would have painted this image of an unstoppable force of evil. Now, knowing what he's capable of, when we go to his room, we wouldn't feel annoyed or disappointed to see him again. We would feel fucking terrified. The guy